Hey, college football fans, this is Gary Greene, longtime sports handicapper, professional sports bettor here in Las Vegas for the past 35 years. And this is Gary Wins Videos and my favorite week of the year in college football, and that's title games weekend. And we're going to get kicked off on Friday night with 3 games and then a great slate on Saturday with some of the big daddies. But on Friday night, this video, we will preview 2 of the 3 games, and I'll do another video for the 3rd game. But we have 2 previews for this one. Tulane at Army, Western Kentucky at Jacksonville State. Again, in the next video I'll do will be just solely for UNLV at Boise State. And I want to read off first a college football title games trend. And this was a doozy. We have same season revenge games now in title game rematches over the years. 52 and 58 straight up for the avenging team, but an amazing 55 and 55 against the spread. The only one that's going to win there is the bookmaker with the VIG. But we'll start off first with a good one. Tulane at Army. Tulane is 9-3. Army is 10-1. Tulane is the favorite here, though. 4.5-point favorite. The total 45.5. When we look at this Army team, the last 50 times they played at home, they are 42-8 straight up since 2017. The Tulane head coach, Sumrall, he has faced the Army or Navy triple option 3 times in the past 3 years. And his defenses have held those 2 academies to 9 total points scored. 9. That is an amazing feat. This guy here is eccentric because he spends every single Monday all year long practicing to defend the triple option, and it's obviously paid off. This is a matchup of 2 of the slowest tempo teams in college football, number 130 versus number 134 in the nation. And the Army record right now, 10-1, is great. And I root for Army, Navy, Air Force to always be good. One of my favorite games in sports is the Army-Navy game. But, you know, the thing about Army is it's hard to really judge them because they've played basically one of the 3 easiest schedules in all of college football this year. So, as Dick Vitale would say, Cupcake City, baby. As far as Army goes, they faced just 1 Power 4 team all year, Notre Dame, and they got bombed 49-14. Now, Tulane played a couple of big namers. They lost by only 7 to Kansas State, and they hung in there with Oklahoma. So they did fare a little better against, or at least played some better competition. For Army, their defense has only been on the field 19 and 20 minutes the last 2 weeks. And if you listen to me over the years, tired leg segments, that's an outstanding number in their favor. The problem is, in the last 2 games doing that, they've allowed 24 and 49 points. So these are 2 teams that, are both pretty well evenly matched. Tulane is playing in their 3rd straight AAC championship game, so a lot of the kids are back. Now, they do have a brand new coach in Sumrall, so this will be his first go about getting a title. The thing I would worry a little bit on the Tulane side is they're the biggest name coach almost right now for these job openings is this Sumrall for Tulane. But I told you about a game last week, Texas Longhorns, and I said, folks, the defense, they weren't boys, they weren't men, they were beasts. And the way this Tulane team has played on defense this year has really impressed me. And the way this guy's prepared for the triple option has impressed me. Again, numbers here, Tulane minus 4.5, the total 45.5. It actually even went up a little higher than that. So I would have expected the line to have been a little bit lower with the Army team being at home. But they're basing this line a lot off the competition this year so far. Tulane has won the last 4 meetings against Army. Next up, Western Kentucky at Jacksonville State. It's the first time Jacksonville State will ever host a conference title game. And Jacksonville State's the favorite here, 4.5-point favorite, total 57.5. The key thing for this game that makes this one hard, as far as I'm telling you right now, which side to go, is the quarterback for Jacksonville State. He got hurt last week, Huff, rolled an ankle. He is a game-time decision. Now, they have a capable backup that's at least played in games. He's got 4 games under his belt. but he's not quite the runner that Huff is. Last week, this is a same game rematch from just last week. Western Kentucky won 19-17 last week on a walk-off 50-yard field goal. They had to win to get to this championship game. Jacksonville State was going to be here anyway. Now, Western Kentucky could not stop Jacksonville State's run game last week. They allowed 229 rushing yards. Jacksonville State's won 5 straight home games now. They're 4-1 against the spread in those 5, and they've actually outgained their opponents in those 5 games by 148 yards per game average. That is, again, why I call this defense beasts. Jacksonville State, again, 4-0 against the spread at home off a loss the last 2 years under Rich Rod, the head coach. They won those games by a combined score of 141-41. So they outscored their opponents after a loss by 100 points. The avenging team in back-to-back games in a title game, 2-2. The last 2 meetings between these two teams, though, very close. 19-17 and 20-17. So I don't expect either one of these teams to really pull away. Again, each one of those 2 teams won one of those meetings. Last but not least, it's tough to beat a team 2 times in the same season, let alone 2 times in 2 weeks. That was a really tough one for Western Kentucky. They knew that even if they won last week, they'd have to beat them again. So in essence, for them to come out of this conference with a championship, they would have had to beat the best team in the conference 2 weeks in a row. So we have 2 great games on Friday night. Hope you can enjoy both of these games. Make sure that you never wager what you cannot afford to lose. And don't miss my 3rd video. It'll be a little longer. 1 game preview with the UNLV Boise State. UNLV, obviously, I'm here in Vegas, and I know a lot about this team, so don't miss that video as well. And then, again, I'll load up a lot of NFL weekend games, and I'll do another Saturday title game video, so check for that as well. Make sure you bookmark us at Gary Wins Videos, and have a great weekend ahead, folks.